What's up, poopers? Welcome to part 2 of my updated beginner guides, and this time we'll be going over enchanting, upgrading, and socketing your gear. But before we start, I want to make some corrections to the gearing guide. Firstly, Grunil is not ideal for new players. It's recommended instead to use the soaring chestplate from completing the Black Spirit quests, as it equates to a duo armor piece, and combine it with 3 pieces of heave or another set. This makes transitioning into boss armor like Beg's gloves much easier. And secondly, tank players do not go full Rokaba, but rather go boss chest and boots, and usually with Rokaba helmet or gloves or something else that's tanky. And thirdly, some people and some classes believe boss offhands are not best in slot, but I'll make a separate video going over the data mine stats later. With that out of the way, let's jump into this enchanting guide. Boop. So you got your badass boss piece or accessory and decided on your weapon and armor. Now it's time for you to upgrade those bad boys. So let's start with upgrading gear rarity. When you choose to start out by using green quality armor and weapons such as Grunil, Heave, Yuria, Rosa, Kriya, you'll want to eventually upgrade those items to yellow quality to give it more stats, right? To upgrade the gear, you need to open your Black Spirit menu and click Item Reform, then add the weapon you want to upgrade rarity on, or armor, and then add an upgrade stone. Now there are 4 types of upgrade stones: grade 1, 2, 3, and ultimate. So 1 gives it a chance to go blue, 2 guarantees blue, 3 gives it a chance to go yellow, and ultimate guarantees yellow. As someone who detests RNG, I recommend using ultimate to guarantee to go yellow so you don't waste your time. Now an ultimate upgrade stone is made by combining 10 level 3 upgrade stones and 1 hard fragment for armor, or 1 sharp fragment for the weapon upgrade stone. Now these things can be a little nasty to snatch on the auction house recently, so I'll quickly teach y'all how to make these upgrade stones yourself so you can save yourself some money and ultimately make money if you start selling your spares. Now the sharp and hard fragment parts of the ultimate stone can be obtained in a lot of ways. I'll go over those later in the video. But for the grade 3 upgrade stones, you'll need to craft them in a level 3 refinery with a worker using these materials. Now a lot of these materials are RNG gained when gathering, and some require high levels of gathering, but there are nodes you can send your workers to in order to gather them for you. If you're unsure how nodes and workers work, check out my guide in the description below. But basically, if you send workers to the Omar Lava Cave Zinc node in Media, you can get platinum. If you send workers to the Abandoned Iron Mines Iron node in Media, you can get black crystals. And if you send workers to the Media Northern Highlands, you can get tree bark for your armor stone crystal, and you can get red tree lumps for your weapon stone crystal from Calpheon nodes such as Quint Hill or Old Dandelion Lumbering. Steel is pretty basic. You can make it by heating iron shards from iron ore and mixing it with coal once your processing is high enough to do so and you do the Black Spirit's processing guide quests in Heidel. While blackstone powder can come from grinding any magic crystal you find out in the world. The tricky thing for these is Clown's Blood for weapon and Tyrant for armor. You'll need to level your alchemy a little bit and do a bit of work gathering the materials for these 2 bloods if you can't find them on the auction house, but I'll put a link in the description to a guide on alchemy so you can learn how to make them yourselves. But once you've gathered all of the mats and send your workers to craft 10 level 3 stones, take the 10 stones and use your heating skill and heat the 10 grade stones with a hard fragment if it's armor, or with a sharp fragment if it's weapon, and bam! Ultimate upgrade stone, guaranteed to get your gear to yellow quality. Note that these upgrade stones do not work on Laverto, but they do work on Awakening weapon received from your 56 quest. So now you've got your green gear at yellow quality, it's time to enchant it. Now enchanting is the main difference in power between players in Black Desert Online besides level. So to enchant a piece of gear, talk to your Black Spirit and click on the Enhancement menu. Put the piece of gear you want to enhance and then add the enhancement material. So if you are enchanting a weapon from +0 to +14, you need to use a black weapon stone. Enchanting from 0 to +14 will require you to use an armor stone. and enchanting an accessory will require you to use another accessory of the same type. I will not go over how to get these stones because these things drop literally everywhere. Events, hunter seals, bosses, monsters quests, login rewards. The moment you stop needing them, you'll have hundreds of them just from playing the game. Now, 3 things to note. A weapon is guaranteed to upgrade successfully up until +7, and armor is guaranteed until +5. After that, each time you try to enchant an item, it has a chance to fail, and if it fails, 2 things will happen. 1, you will gain a fail stack, and 2, your item's durability will go down. Now, recently added to the game are 2 methods to enchant weapons and armor: durable and enhance. When you choose to enhance using the durable option, it will reduce the chance the enchant will work, but also reduce the amount of durability that your item will lose by half. If you choose to enchant using enhance, it'll increase the success chance but reduce the item's durability by more on a failure. Now, this enhance and durable stuff doesn't work on boss armor or accessories or above +15, so it's mostly just for upgrading your new gear, and most people do recommend to just use durable. But to understand which one you want to use, you need to understand the fail stack system in BDO. So basically, each time you attempt an enchant, the enchant has a base chance to succeed. For example, enchanting from +5 to +6 on armor is like a 70-75% chance to succeed. Note that these statistics are pretty made up. I don't know the actual chance. But let's say +5 to +6 is about 75% chance to succeed. If you fail that enchant, however, you will gain +1 fail stack. What a fail stack does is improves the odds to succeed by a little bit for the next time you attempt it, depending on the level of the item you're enchanting. So let's say by 5% for +5 to +6. So the next time you try to enchant that same item with a +1 fail stack, the chance to succeed will now be 80% instead of 75%. And if you choose to enchant durable, this chance will drop a bit, but you'll lose half durability on failure. And if you choose to enhance using the enhance option, chance goes up a bit, but you'll lose more durability if it fails. Now, for going to +15, you need to decide if it's easier for you to repair durability of an item after failing enchants, or if you'd rather use as little black stones as possible. And with that, you can decide if you want to enhance to 15 using durable or enhance option. Just keep in mind that the chance to succeed gets progressively lower as you get closer to +15, but it's all RNG. As an alternative, it is possible to use the force enchant option. Now what this does is it uses a preset number of stones but guarantees the success of the enchant without using any of your built up fail stacks, but it also reduces the item's durability by a preset amount. Now this option is particularly useful if you get unlucky and go beyond the fail stack cap for a particular level of enchant. What the hell is a fail stack cap? Well, a fail stack cap is the maximum amount of fail stacks that can benefit a certain enchant level. For example, when going from +14 to +15, having 25 fail stacks will make your chance to succeed about 16%. Now 16% is the highest chance of success at that point, meaning if you fail and get 26 fail stacks instead of 25, your chance to succeed is still 16%. Hell, even if you have 50 fail stacks, the chance to succeed +14 to +15 is still 16% because at 25 you've already hit the cap. So beyond a certain point, it's better to save those fail stacks for an enchant that can properly benefit from 50 fail stacks, rather than waste them on an enchant that doesn't need so many. And this is where fail stacking alts come into play. So if you are enchanting a low, easy to succeed item such as +14 to +15, relatively easy, and you manage to get really unlucky and the fail stacks get really high such as 20 to 25, you're better off doing one of 2 things. 1, forcing the enchant so you can save those high fail stacks for a more expensive or risky enchant such as a pry accessory or +16 weapon or armor, or alternatively, don't force and instead move the enchanting process to an alt. as your alt can hold separate amounts of fail stacks. And fail stacks become increasingly more valuable the more difficult enchants you are attempting. For some high risk enchants, you'll want to get fail stacks beforehand by using fail stacking methods, which is basically you spamming durable enchants on cheap items that are easy to repair, or cheap accessories which have a high chance to fail. And once you get a decent amount of fail stacks on that cheap shit, you use the fail stacks to attempt the risky enchant, like going for plus 17, plus 18 on your weapons and armor, or going for duo accessories and above. But before you can truly understand why fail stacking is valuable, we need to go over plus 16 enchanting and above, as well as durability repair, accessory enchanting, and cronstones. So let's start by talking about durability repair. Once you've failed a few enchants, your item's maximum durability will hit around 20, and your Black Spirit won't let you enchant anymore. In order to repair an item's maximum durability to continue enchanting, you'll need to get a second version of the item, go to the blacksmith, and use item durability repair from the blacksmith's repair menu. Put the enchanted item in the menu and then add the non-enchanted version and sacrifice a non-enchanted version to repair durability. Each non-enchanted item you sacrifice will repair 10 durability to the enchanted item. Now right away you should realize that doing something like this is completely mental with boss gear, as that stuff costs 100 million, right? You don't want to sacrifice a Beg's glove to repair 10 durability on a Beg's glove. So as an alternative to sacrificing another copy of the item, players use something called memory fragments. Now a memory fragment restores 5 durability to green items, 2 durability to blue, and 1 to a rare yellow item like boss armor. Now memory fragments, however, tend to be significantly more expensive than using a green item to repair, and this is the main reason why enchanting the green quality items is much cheaper than enchanting boss armor and weapons, which is why it's recommended you start out with the cheaper items if you are a new player, as you most likely will not be able to afford to even upgrade the boss armor, even if you get it early on. Now you can offset the cost of memory fragments by using artisan memories, which triple the effectiveness of items during durability repairs, by buying artisan memories from the cash shop for the price of just 50 cents for one, or you can spend 4 days worth of loyalty for one, but you can save $10 if you buy the 100 artisan memories for the low price of just $40. Sorry, something stuck in my throat. You can gather memory fragments during events and login rewards, as well as the Black Spirit adventure game, or just farm the memory fragments yourselves. Memory fragments are farmed using 3 types of scrolls, crafted out of drops. You can farm ancient relics, by far the most popular, as ancient relics can be farmed in the Calpheon region or fished up while AFK fishing. You can farm the forbidden books in the Media region, or farm scrolls written in an ancient language in Valencia. Now combining 5 of these items with each other gives a summoning scroll that once defeated will give memory fragments. And like other boss scrolls, these are best farmed in groups with other players that also have scrolls to increase your chance of getting more memory fragments. So that's how we repair durability when enchanting armor and weapons, but accessories work a bit different. Accessories, enchanted by sacrificing another accessory of the same type, do not lose durability on failure, but rather get destroyed. It's because of this, people like to have really high amounts of fail stacks when attempting certain high level accessory enchants, as failure means you lose everything. All the hours and silver you invested into that duo ogre ring just poof, gone. Kinda makes you wish you spent the time doing push-ups or learning a new language instead. Super depressing. So when attempting risky accessory enchants, make sure you have a high fail stack. No matter the amount of blackstones and money you have to invest in order to get fail stacks high, weight the cost of the fail stack attempting against the cost of the time and money you'll lose if it fails. And then, when you've got 50 fail stacks, watch as it fails anyway, and question your life choices while all your friends tell you to get good and one-shot you with their full TED accessories. I'm totally not talking from personal experience here or anything. Oh, but you can prevent the destruction of an accessory using cronstones. What's a cronstone? Great question. A cronstones can be purchased from any blacksmith vendor for 1 million each, and you sometimes get them from events and shit too. And the amount of cronstones you need to use to protect an enchant from destroying the accessory will be based off of that item's current market value. So for example, if a Mark of Shadow Pry is on the auction house for 16 million on average, then you're probably going to need about 16 cronstones to prevent it from being destroyed. Note that this doesn't always prevent it from downgrading. The last time I think some guildies tried this, but that was a while ago. I'm not sure if they changed this. So you can still get pretty screwed even if you use the cronstones. And last thing to note about accessories is that they only go up to +5. So as I said in the first video, I recommend only going for pry-ish accessories, maybe duo first, until you get all the rest of your gear up a bit, as accessories are extremely volatile, expensive, and time-consuming to enchant. Hell, to be honest, I'd recommend not enchanting them at all, unless you hate yourself or play the game a lot, and instead just buy pre-enchanted versions off the auction house. Let other enchant masochists enchant your accessories for you. But lastly, let's look at going above +15 on weapons and armor. So once you hit +15, you'll no longer be able to use simple blackstones to upgrade your gear. You'll need to combine a sharp shard with 2 weapon stones using heating in order to make a concentrated magical weapon stone, or a hard fragment with 2 armor stones to make a concentrated magical armor stone. Now these stones are what you use to enchant your armor and weapons to +16 and above. Now these fragment shards are the same things you used to make ultimate reform stones, so let's briefly look at ways to obtain these fragments. Now the manual farming method is simply gathering. All methods of gathering in the game have a chance to give you these shards, be it chopping wood, draining blood, cutting off sheep's fur, stabbing potatoes with a hoe. Except for gathering water, you can even dig in the desert with a shovel, I think. So you can improve your chance by using lucky tools, but the chance is generally pretty low. You can expect on average around 1 shard per 100 energy or so, but RNG is RNG. You can also often get these stones from Black Spirit's Adventure, daily login rewards, as well as events, and the Night Vendor often sells them as well, which is a pretty good way to get them. And note that once +16, enchanting above it and failing will downgrade a piece of gear by 1. So failing here is something you really don't want to do. And this is where once again your fail stacks come in handy. By stacking fail stacks using the durable option on shitty cheap gear, then attempting the enchant on your main gear, you'll have a good chance to succeed. Now if you fail, you'll gain more fail stacks on that character, but the item will downgrade. So you'll want to re-upgrade using fail stacks on another character in order to maintain the high fail stacks on the high fail stack character. Generally speaking, it's fairly feasible after a month or 2 of playing to gather enough enchanting materials and resources to get most of your gear to +18 or try. Now going above it requires a lot of work and money though, as the fail stacks recommended for going to +19, aka TET, is usually in the 60s to 80s. And failing will put your +18 back to +17, meaning each time you fail to go to TET, you need to do the fail stacking on alts to get the item back to try in order to attempt TET again. And don't even get me started on attempting pen, +20, as it's only about a 12% chance to succeed going to pen with 124 or so fail stacks. And if you fail the pen, you drop back down to try and lose your TET. So you can see not many people in BDO right now have pen gear. The top tier guys are mostly rocking TETs, and the average gear is around try and duo. Now that's all I can think of right now to say about enchanting at the moment, but the topic is pretty complex and I feel like I'm missing some details. So I'll put a link in the description to a fairly up-to-date guide that talks about recommended numbers of fail stacks when enchanting at certain levels. But honestly, if you hate RNG like I do, you can usually just buy upgraded items off the auction house from other masochistic players. It's expensive, but the price of failing and gathering all the stuff can be much more expensive and is pretty emotionally exhausting. Oh, and one last thing, BDO has recently started giving out Valkyries in events and login rewards, which can be used to instantly gain fail stacks on a character as long as the character's fail stacks are currently at 0. Now these items are currently not obtainable in any other way outside of events, But items like this are purchasable in the cash shops in other regions, so it's likely just a matter of time before they're added in NA and EU cash shops. So if you get unlucky, you can just buy all your fail stacks. But they said that they had no plans to add this to our cash shops at this time, so that means it totally won't happen. Don't worry guys, we can trust Cacao. But once you've got your pretty gear and all your pretty enchanted and upgraded stuff, the last thing left to do is to shove some crystals in those sockets. Now crystals in Black Desert Online are basically the best way to customize your gear and stats to tailor to your playstyle. Now there's hundreds of crystals, they vary in quality and slots. There are helmet crystals, chest, weapon, glove, boot, and offhand crystals. Then there are a few crystals that fit into all of them, and there's even costume crystals which take a bit of work to get, but I'm not going to talk about them because it's kind of pay to winny. But your goal with these crystals is usually to max out the stats you find important to your class, or give nice bonuses to whatever things you need. Rangers often like putting +1 mana return on attack in their weapons. Other classes like putting +1 crit and attack speed. So when choosing what crystals to put in it, make sure not to push the stats over their +5 caps and waste the crystal stats. And make sure to look into all your options before choosing what to spend money on, as crystals can be expensive. And another thing to know is that crystals have a chance to be destroyed anytime you die while wearing them. So to put a crystal in your gear, simply talk to the Black Spirit and choose the transfusion option. Now you can resocket a new crystal anytime you want by clicking in this menu, the current crystal, but the old crystal will get destroyed. If you like to unsocket a crystal without destroying it, you'll need to use the special Black Spirit Essence from the cash shop, which can be purchased for $2. Now for obtaining these crystals, they come from all over the place. They've dropped very often from bosses, but some come from the main story quests or side quests, some from daily login rewards, and upgraded versions can be from combining crystals with red battlefield rewards or imperial trading. Some are even made from alchemy. So the best bet is to decide the best crystals for your class and then hunt them down and farm them, or cough up some silver on the auction house. But that's it! With all this information, you should now understand how to obtain the gear you want in BDO, how to upgrade its rarity if applicable, how to enchant it, and how to socket it full of crystals. Now because these systems are fairly complex, I'm sure you guys still have a lot of questions, or there's a lot of details I probably missed. So leave any questions or things I missed in the comment section below so we can help the new players get geared. But next time, we're going to be revisiting my leveling guide and then we'll go from there. But until then, I am booping out. Boop.